Hey, we're live. I think we're live. We're live. Hey.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jessy Martin.
You want to play what? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taylor.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The king, your majesty.
And now here's your host, John Taylor.
Hey, everybody, that's me. I'm your host, John Taman. And, I tell you what, Jesse, I'm really starting to feel bad that every week in this doggone thing, we have Keith Gray come like he's coming on the show. But the dude's never on the show.
No, I don't know what's going on. He's got too much going on. He's too popular. He's too in demand to make time for his own podcast.
That's what it is. Now, I tell you what, I'm not going to start any rumors or anything like that, but I do know that Keith plays Santa Claus for the orphans down at, our Mother Mary of Cuddaloo. And he makes them fight to see, which one's allowed to sit on his lap. So I'm not condoning that action or anything like that, but if that's what brings him the joy of the season, then ho, ho, ho. Anyway, I'm just fucking with him. I don't know where he is today. We haven't heard from him, so we're hoping everything's all right. But he's got little kids, and Christmas is 2 days off, so obviously he's going to be busy. Anyway, I do have my hairy friend, Jessy. Now, Jessy, it says right here that you play Santa Claus for all the bikers, and all those big, fat, sweaty slops sit on your lap. Is that true?
Yeah, every year.
That's where you go. What do you want for fucking Christmas, Grinder? Huh? So, anyway. All right, so this is the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast. We are coming off of a week in which I have been extremely depressed. I haven't wanted to read any of the damn news. I don't care how it happens to the fucking team because they fucking blew it on Sunday night. And I mean, choked it big time. The more I think about that game, the more pissed off I get. The fact that even, what's his name from Pro Football Talk, Florio is on our side for the freaking referee lying to Terry about where he was standing.
Yeah.
All right, even Florio is on our side there. Right. I mean, yeah, that's horrible. And I mean, I had a couple of discussions with people this week that kind of got the wrong idea, in which I'm saying that wasn't right. I mean, that wasn't right. Right. But fact is, Terry was off the line. Dude.
Yeah, but
handle your business, don't worry about it. Right. But
the fact of the matter is, every receiver in the entire NFL asks the officials, "Am I okay?" And when they give you the thumbs up after saying to move up, and then give you the thumbs up again, then you should be okay. And even Dean Blandino, he was the head of refs. He even went on the podcast that he does and said that was the most ridiculous call that he's seen in a long, long time. So, yeah.
Well, Dean Blandino, who usually does every segment like this. Hi, I'm Dean Blandino. And you couldn't name him more properly. The dude, I think, honestly, is a marionette. But he actually got pretty animated when he was discussing this. Yeah. And he's right. This, look, the thing about it is, and I guess I just brought this all back up again. It's a bad look, right? Because I am always on the side of, if you handle your business, the refs don't matter. All right. If you handle your business, the ref can't screw you out of a game. And we had more opportunities to take that game than that. But that being said, there was more playoff implications on the line in that game than in any other game of the season so far. And to have that kind of thing going, especially when you see that ref grab his fucking flag like he's going for his 6-gun right before the snap.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. It doesn't look good. I think what Florio said that it could bring up a Michael Donaghy situation, that the ref for the NBA that was caught shaving points. Sure. I've always also said that a football game is too hard to fix. There's too many moving parts. There's too many things that can happen to, I mean, when you say that, and he brings this up, that maybe one guy could have that much sway, but how do you control it to get it to the point where you can have that much sway? And in a football game, I don't think you can.
I would think it would have to be a group effort in that way, like a crew effort. I see what you're saying. But yeah, that was disappointing. I mean, the whole game itself was disappointing. That was just the cheese on the cracker right there. Because we did have a chance to tie it up. The play itself, what Terry did, he had no effect on the play whatsoever. The play resulted in a touchdown. It was a running play. The NFL should be up in arms about this. The Players Association, the coaches, the league should look at this a lot closer and try to figure something out on plays that have no bearing on penalties that have no bearing on the game in important games like it was on Sunday night. I'm still sore about it. I've been off social media all week. It was depressing.
Well,
it was a very depressing week.
Well, yeah, that, and of course the missed pass interference call on the, what was it? Almost the next play where, Jesus Christ, he's draped all over him.
Yeah.
But oh well, handle your business, score more than 12 points, and these things don't. What's up there, Andy? Happy Christmas to you. Merry Christmas. Some of my fave people can't wait to see my boys again, hopefully at the playoffs. I hope so, man. That would be pretty fucking cool. But let's hope, Andy, that it is not this week, because I don't know how to do the calculation off the top of my head of what it would be in Celsius over where you are right now. But over here in the United States, it's what we call fucking cold. I mean, fucking cold.
It's fucking cold.
Yeah. That's right. If you're coming over here anytime in the next couple,
it's supposed to be a balmy 10 degrees when we wake up in the morning tomorrow.
That's like minus 20 to him.
Yeah,
I think minus 30, something like that. I'm not sure what the calculation
is. It's going to be cold here, and I'm just going to try to sleep in.
See, for me, sleeping in is till 6 o'clock.
Look, hey, that's it for me too, man. I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning and go to work, so
you're used to it.
Yeah,
I get more done before 9 o'clock in the morning than anybody but the Army, I think. So.
But anyways, we do got a game coming up. It's a Saturday game on Christmas Eve, and as well as long as the whole NFL has games tomorrow. There's no games
full
on
slate
Sunday. Yeah, full slate of games tomorrow.
Isn't there a night game? The Raiders and the Steelers, right?
I think so. Yeah,
on Christmas. And my God, sorry to cut off your thought here.
No, you're good.
Franco Harris dying this week.
Yeah,
it's just that's terrible. I mean, for me, that's for you guys. For you, I would say that would be like all of a sudden, John Riggins passed away. He got to be a star when I was an adult, but Franco was, as I was a kid, man. Everybody, when you want to play, throw up tackle or whatever you wanted to call it, I almost called it the wrong thing. I'll be Franco. I was always Mercury Morris. That was me. It was a game like we did to the Giants last week. How do you rally the team? How do you get the guys amped up to play when the refs cost them the last game? Well, you tell them for sure that the refs didn't cost them the last game. And you take Tyler Heineke, you put him in the film room. You say, see Curtis Samuel going down the sidelines here with nobody around him? Hit that sumbitch in stride, and then you don't worry about the ref.
Yeah. No, it's a tough spot for the team right now. They got it. This is a must-win game. I think right now, I'm a little bit more positive on our chances with this team because I think we match up well against this particular team. I don't think we're going to win the game, but I think we do have a slim chance of eking one out. The Eagles, I don't think the 49ers can score a whole bunch of points on this team. We're going to have to get lucky. We're going to have to. I don't think we're going to run the ball. To be honest with you, I know this is going into the keys of the game. We'll get to a little bit in depth later. But I think you're going to have to figure out how to protect Heineke enough, give him enough time to pass it. And I just, with that defensive line that Washington is going up against, I don't see a big running day for this offense. But I don't see the 49ers scoring a lot of points.
They can though. That's the thing. And what we always say that we'll get into that in a little while. It's always just a stream of consciousness, especially when it's just the two of us. So we might as well just go with it. And I'm thinking, you got to try to run the ball because I think the only way to protect Heineke is if the NFL does grant us an exemption.
I didn't say not try. I just don't think. We're going to try. I just don't think we're going to be able to be successful at it. But you still have to try, obviously.
Well, we did petition the NFL. We petitioned the NFL to have a machine gun emplacement in the backfield. So we might get a little bit of help with protection, but I don't know how long that'll last. It's all a matter of whether or not Heineke can figure out to throw it before the barrel gets too hot. Sure. So we have that going on. It's one of those games. Templar said it a minute ago. We're going to need a miracle. All right. And I think right now, other than possibly Andy Burrows, everybody in this city thinks that we're going to lose this game. All right. Everybody in America freezing their eyes over we're going to lose the game. Except over there
Burrows
in the UK,
he's talking about a 33 to fall beat down.
Our man,
we're going to get two safeties on him.
Hey, I love it. I like an optimist that really couldn't care less about reality. It is Christmas, and that's what I'm saying. We did it before, right? We pulled off the miracle. That one that the Eagles have got hanging on their record is us.
Sure.
All right, and nobody gave us a chance in that game. So yeah, like Templar Hunter said, man, a miracle game, 47 fucking rushing attempts with 75% on third down against the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, if you can
It's
try to
capable.
carve out 3
They're
yards,
capable.
if they can carve out 3 yards per carry and wear the defense down, sure, yeah. But I think I do think we're going to have our passing game is going to have to be somewhat successful to move the ball. And I see this game as very low scoring. I'm talking about 13, 14 points aside. 17 points could definitely win this game, I think.
Good, because that's the only way we can win them. All right.
I look and I go back and I look at that 49ers game against the Seahawks last week. The Seahawks defense was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
One of the worst Ds in the entire league. And San Francisco's only be able to put up 21 points on them. And then you have a third string quarterback in Brock Purdy. And although he's been playing okay, he has not matched up against the defense to the Washington Commanders.
Right. He hasn't had the pressure that we can apply.
Exactly.
Right.
Not only the pressure, but I think having Benjamin St. Juice is back as well. And that is going to help on the back end for some tight coverage. I think Purdy is with their passing game. They're going to need to be pinpoint. And I just don't trust a third string quarterback. No. I mean, we don't trust our second string quarterback.
Right. And he was a third string quarterback who was living on his sister's couch. So
sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm of the thinking, and Templar's right. The only everybody expects us to lose, and that's the one thing that we have going for us. Possibly, I haven't even looked at the schedule as to who San Francisco has next week, but maybe they look past us a little bit. That would be pretty good. However, I very much would doubt that Kyle Shanahan will ever look past the chance to beat the shit out of fucking Washington.
No, never,
ever. I think probably sees us on the schedule in freaking May.
Remember the last time that we played the San Francisco 49ers, we did beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Right. At the time before that,
he's still sore about that.
Sure. The time before that, I believe, was really a low-scoring game.
It was like 9-0. I think they beat us 9-0.
Yeah, that rainstorm.
Yeah.
But all right, I saw Scotty was in here a minute ago, but I don't know where he went.
Yeah, I don't know where he went either. Each time Hunter had Chase Young. He is making his season debut today. I don't. We can't expect Chase Young to come out on fire. This is his first game back in well over a year. It's going to take some time. He's given these last 3 games to try, to build some confidence. I expect no more than 10 to 12 plays for this game. But what would be great if he just came out and had a sack or a tackle for like a 5-yard tackle for loss. I think that would give him some good confidence going forward. But I don't expect him to make any an impact in this game.
I'll tell you what, for me, I think him coming in and having I don't know, if he runs 12 plays, 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, I'd be all right with that. Now, whatever he feels like he could get, and I think he's going to be itching to go. I think last week, if they would have taken my advice and just dressed him, as soon as they got that sack fumble for a touchdown, as soon as Kayvon Thibodeau did that to Heineke, you probably – I tell you what, he would have been tearing off his shirt to try to get in that game, man. Chase Young was probably ready to go right after that. Yeah. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and play off this really terrible bit that we've been running all year about where is Scotty now. So we've been trying to send Scotty to San Francisco. We've sent Captain Gustavio over there to pick him up, and I think that they started their journey on Thursday. So there he is, Scott. Scott, have you been running into any holiday travel? That almost looks like San Francisco. Did you get there?
Hi, fellas. No, I didn't get there again. I'm actually there's a bit of communication issues again with Boris and Captain Gustavio, and they've sent me to the Forum, which is a regular haunt of mine, just in the town centre. It's where we have a lot of plays and theatre. And I'm watching the matinee performance of San Francisco.
So he sent you to the theatre. A regular haunt of yours.
To watch San Francisco play. Yeah, fantastic.
Well,
what a good bloke.
All right. Right. I mean, that seems like a fine bloke. And I must say, I have never met anybody who said that one of their frequent haunts was the theatre.
Yeah, I only go here for meetings with work. That's it, John.
Right. I mean, I have people that go to the movies, you know.
Oh, dear.
So I see you got your Obata jersey.
I have, yeah. I've got my 97 Obata jersey. That came through this week. Happy Christmas to me.
Move to your left so we can
the way, to the left.
Yeah, the other way. There we go.
There you go.
Hot dang. How about that?
Now,
I assume that all of the actors there at the forum, they know who F.A. Obata is.
Oh, of course they do. He's an international superstar, a bit like Keith Gray, really. You know,
he is. I just got a message from Keith, by the way. He says he can't make it tonight. He is. Let me read this properly. I've got $100 down on this fat little redhead kid. I think he's going to take it all. So there you go. I think that Keith has found his champion.
Shouldn't talk about me like that, John. That's really out of order. I have to go. I'm going to make a complaint with HR here.
He did text. He said he's got some family things going on. So happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. All right, what's playing? San Francisco?
The play San Francisco is playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently.
So,
it's starring
isn't that filled with a bunch of oiled up men and sailors? Isn't that what?
Apparently so, but it's starring a guy called Mr. Tumbles. So if you're British, you'll know who he is. He's a children's entertainer. And I think Mr. Tumbles. Apparently, I look like him. So
really.
Yeah, a little bit, but there you go. It's what it is. Maybe they've got it wrong and they thought I was actually the lead star. I don't know.
I don't know. I tell you what, if there was a theater called the Forum over here in the United States and then Mr. Tumbles was playing, I don't know if I'd want my kids anywhere near it.
Well, so you might be getting that knock on the shoulder like every other 70s TV personality in the UK, John. Can't mention Rolf Harris anymore or anyone else like that. Yeah, but there you go.
All right, so we're talking about our matchup.
Even your dog knows.
Jesse's had enough comedy. Go ahead. God damn it! Bring this show back to football.
We're talking. Do you give us a rat's chance in hell of coming away with this win tomorrow?
I gave us no chance at all against the Eagles, and to be honest with you, I don't give us much chance here. We've got a box. If you put it in boxing terms, we've got a puncher's chance. You know, everyone's got a chance when you get in a boxing ring, and it's probably the same any given Sunday and all that. But it's very, very unlikely when you're coming up against the number one defense in the entire NFL. Brock Purdy hasn't shit the bed yet, and I don't think we have to pressure him. That's the way we get anything out of this game at all. I think just having Chase back will be enough to maybe put him off a little bit and think, oh, who's 99, coming in off the edge. But I still don't give us much chance at all with this. We get out to an early lead and we maintain a lead and, we're up 10, up 14, then maybe. But I very, very much doubt it. It has to pretty much be the best football we've played all season. We need to use the same that we'd have the same we've had against Philly, but better. I think we have to be better than we were against Philly.
The thing with San Francisco, I was just sorry, John, but I'm not sold on their offense with Purdy in there quite yet. And like we were saying earlier, he hasn't really quite gone up against the defense to the caliber of the Commanders. I feel a little bit better about winning this game than I did with against the Eagles. But I think this is going to be low scoring. It's going to be a dogfight. I mean, I see this being like a 10-13 or a 9-15 type or 16 type of game. Within one score. But it's tough, especially with our offense not clicking at all, mainly quarterback. But I think our defenses will keep us in the game for most of it.
There's one key thing there, though, and I'll tell you what, Scott, why don't you head on inside and grab a chair?
Yeah, we can
join us for the rest of the show. There we go.
Thanks,
we go.
Fellas.
Yeah, no problem. It's Christian McCaffrey. It's Christian McCaffrey.
Exactly
that is the X factor that is.
It is
X factor. But dude, the problem with Christian McCaffrey is that he is the exact kind of running back that we have a really hard time stopping because They'll get him to the outsides quicker than they can help. I mean, these little swing passes to him are out in a hurry. And the thing about him is, man, he accelerates on a dime. Just he gets that ball and he's gone. He finds holes like they're made for him. And I tell you what, he's one of the best backs in the league. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know. And he's 100% healthy right now. I think that he could be the problem that throws a wrench in this whole. I think it's going to be a 16-14 game.
He could
really blow it open.
He very well could be a problem, but we've done well against McCaffrey in the past. Of course,
with a much worse team around him, right?
Yeah, he was with a different team. We'll see how Shanahan schemes it up. One plus is their all-star kind of switchblade type player, and damn, I can't think of his name. He's not playing.
Deebo Samuel.
Deebo Samuel. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Luckily he's not playing, so we don't have to really worry about two like all pro players.
I looked at their injury report and he was down as full.
Deebo
Samuel? I haven't heard anything about Samuel. I thought he was out until at least the playoffs.
The question mark was Nick Bosa. He's not practiced all week, and he was down as questionable with a quad injury, I think.
Well, that would be
it's a hamstring. Sorry,
that would be a huge plus. I just think I thought Samuel wasn't going to be back until like maybe the last week of the season itself. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't seen anything this week. I haven't really been looking, to be honest with you. But I mean, regardless, I still think our defense is very good. And they have a knack for keeping us in games. We haven't really been blowing out, this season. I mean, unless you mean the Detroit game, we got our asses handed to us. But other than that, defense has been keeping it close.
Right. I think, well, for one, I'm looking at 49ers.com, which is showing for week 16 that Deebo is out. So hopefully that's true. That's true. Christian McCaffrey, however, is known as unspecified. So let's hope he's pregnant and he won't be in the game. That'd be nice. Let's hope he's got morning sickness.
What about Bosa? This is the first I'm hearing about Bosa.
I know Bosa got hurt last week. Hang on a minute. I just had that thing up and I closed it.
I mean, him hobbled will help a lot. They do
Bosa
have
questionable. Did not practice.
Hamstring.
Kinlaw is back. They did activate Javon Kinlaw. Really good defensive tackle. So that's something that we're going to have to run. But if Bosa is not playing, guys, that could definitely help the running game.
I tell you, the running game, in my opinion, is key. And I know you think it's not going to do well, but for one, we know our offensive line, in my opinion, right now, a little bit of offseason talk coming up. I think we need to replace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 fucking guys on that line. All right. That's who I think. Yeah. I don't know if I'm not singing that anymore. We need to, it needs a complete overhaul. But one thing that they've been able to do lately, and Brian Robinson was doing it last week to the extreme, is to get out there in front and play that bully ball, man. They get into a knot and a wedge and they just shove forward. Well, it's that one play that Robinson started at the 35 and he got in the middle of that knot. You couldn't even see him in there, and they finished it at the 50. So the thing about Bosa and the other ends, they do these stunts. They come around all different angles all the time. And I was watching something about them, some X's and I can't remember what it was, but they don't even discuss it anymore. It's just they are in tune with what they're doing, and they see what's going on. But with the line, the second the play starts, and they are doing these stunts all on their own, and they're creating all kinds of havoc. Bosa is one of the best players in the league. So, in my opinion, if you want to negate that shit, run Brian fucking Robinson up the goddamn middle, hammer that son of a bitch right up the middle with those big knots of fucking weight, and just push. Make them stop it. Make them stop it. They might, but make them stop it.
2 things on this is that worry me. One was that Scott Turner went away from the run again. I get why. You just gave the run up, especially when a guy's running like Robinson's running 7.4 yards a carry.
He's beating their ass.
Well, he got 4 carries in the second half. I mean, come on, mate.
Now,
stick to the run.
Sorry about this, Scott. Sorry to cut you off. I know I got yelled at last week by Keith for cutting him. But Jesse, you said that you thought he might have been dinged up. Did that turn out to be true?
Yeah, he has a quad injury. And now listen, that doesn't matter. Going off the run game, because they could definitely have brought in Williams too. But to go back on that, though, they came out in the second half and started throwing the ball. And guess what?
Right.
They moved the ball right down the field.
Sure.
There was
You gotta mix.
Sure. But the fact is, they keep shooting themselves in the foot. And yes, they probably should have ran the ball a little bit better. But what happened, though, is the defense did let us down in big spots, giving up that 90-yard drive, letting Saquon Barkley just freaking run off. And even though they only gave up 13 points, and this is what they're going to have to, contain. And I think they could do a little bit better job of it this week with having an inexperienced quarterback back there. And they just need to contain Christian McCaffrey. And I think that they're going to have a chance, that's all going up against this 49ers defense. Everybody's had problems with it. Everybody. So you're going to have to get lucky.
So what you do is you do what everybody else hasn't done. Anyway, Scott, you were making a point, and I cut you off on it. And then...
No, it's okay. I was listening to John Keim earlier, or yesterday on his pod, and he had a 49ers guy on who does the ESPN equivalent for them. Mm-hmm. And he was saying the way that they've set themselves up as a team, it isn't about the quarterback who sat in between. That's why Mr. Irrelevant's doing pretty well. It's the talent that they have around them on both sides of the ball. I mean, we haven't even discussed... We've discussed a little bit of Deebo Samuel. We haven't discussed Kittle. We haven't discussed Ayuk. We haven't discussed any of their wide receiver options either. They've got Eric Armstead, who's an amazing D tackle in the middle. They've got a really, really, really well run and well set up team. And ultimately, I think that's the model that we are trying to use. We have good weapons around us. We have a good team, and it should be a team that we can just be able to say, right, let's drop a quarterback in our team. And we can go and win.
You're not going to do that without an offensive line, man. I mean, that's
we assumed we had one. We assumed
we did.
You did. Yeah. But when you assume, you just make an ass out of you and me. So
speak for you.
But they try with what they could get. I mean, who with the ratings that these offensive linemen they brought in from what they had last year, no one would assume that they would play this poorly. No one would assume that. You're down to your third and fourth center. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Yeah, we still have work to do to get our especially on the defense and the middle of the defense. And we got to work on that offensive line. But yes, we do have some players in place that will help. That has helped build that foundation. That you can drop in some more players next year through the draft, through free agency.
We need a quarterback, but that's another discussion. And I don't think that our room is going to change much. But I am going to bring this up. We have no answer because I was trying not to say George's name all damn game, and hopefully that those motherfuckers would forget who George was, because we do not have any answer for George. And I'm not really looking forward to John Bostic trying to chase George anywhere around on that field, because George will kick his ass.
Sure, but I think we've been doing a lot better against tight ends this year.
I don't think they've tried.
Than we've had in years past, and that goes to using those three safety looks. We've had Derek Forrest, Cam Curl on the tight ends, and what's his name from that went to the Vikings from the Lions? Hawkinson. Yeah, he got us once, but that
was his first. Really,
the tight ends have been covered fairly well this year. And I think that goes to the good play of Cam Curl and Derek Forrest. Now, another thing that is very concerning is Cam Curl being very questionable on the side.
Very questionable.
He's not going to play.
So we're kind of
he's made the trip. He has made the trip. Right. So I think
that's a problem.
It's like 45.
So Derek Forrest is going to have to roll, because other than Travis over in C, I really hate George and his chances against us, because there's nobody better. That dude's a wide receiver and a damn good one. They open up the middle of the field like crazy. The thing, Scott, you had said about how the 49ers are set up, and then we've heard that this is plug and play. I don't know if you've watched them in the two games that this kid's been playing, but he doesn't make the crucial mental error. That's the difference between him and Heineke. He doesn't hesitate.
What was weird was, you know what his comp was when they came out? His comp was Taylor Heineke. That's what they put him as.
But he's got a brick wall in front of him that
I know.
you know, they give him all the time in the world. Of course, if you're not throwing the ball there, he's not throwing the ball, being made to throw the ball down the field 100 times. But he throws when he's supposed to. For him, you know,
he throws when he's supposed to. There's the difference right there.
And I actually think this is the best team in the NFC. I really do. I think the 49ers are the best set up team in the NFC.
They sure look like it.
They are very, very, very good. That's why I don't give us much of a chance. We've got a puncher's chance, but I don't think we've got much of a chance at all. And deep down, I think.
Throwing my head up a little bit more.
Yes, there it is. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to knock that down, but I didn't realize you were putting it up as soon as
Wow. Temple Hunter saying he thinks that the Dallas is the best team in the NFC, and Burrows is saying that John's absolutely right. The entire O-line should be gone.
Andy is right.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Leno's going to be here. He's under contract. So and I don't think he's not
I think Cosme will get better.
Yeah. He'll probably be moved to guard. And Leno's not as bad. He gives up a play now and again, but he's not that bad. You know, he's probably the one I would keep out of all of them, you know?
Yeah.
But I think Cosme should move to guard and us find a solid right tackle.
A lot of these guys are okay for depth. I like Cornelius Lucas as a swing tackle because he can play both sides.
As a swing tackle,
right.
Yeah,
but I don't want to see him as a starter. Okay,
yeah, no, I agree with you. 100%.
Our guard situation, these Turner and they got to go. Norwell and Turner, they got to hit the road and they got to hit it hard and fast.
I like Schweitzer as a guard, but not as a
guard. I like him as left guard.
I would like him even better as a backup if we could find somebody better.
Tell you what, I'm kind of hungry. I'd like it if he'd bring me a bag of hamburgers.
Because he's good. Schweitzer. He's not. He's okay as a guard, but he's not quite starter material. You know?
Yeah,
I mean?
I want to keep him around. You know who
and
I've had enough of?
He's cheap too.
And Scott G, I'm going to holler at Scott G because I last week I was going off on the offensive line and I called 63 who was out there on the line, and I said that was Sadiq Charles, and Scott called me on it, which is thank you very much from North Dakota. I appreciate that. But to me, a fat slob doing nothing is a fat slob doing nothing, and I don't give a shit what number's on his jersey. Both of them need to get out of here. I am so over Sadiq Charles because when Scott said, dude, it wasn't Sadiq Charles, he's hurt, my brain went, duh, how is Sadiq Charles not hurt? It must be a fucking day ending with a Y.
He gets bit by a mosquito and he's got malaria.
I swear to
That's
God.
Just and like listen, we got work to do on this offensive line, and hopefully Chris Paul. We're hearing a lot of good things. From players.
That's what I want to know. Why do they?
Maybe he's having trouble with line calls,
how much more trouble can you have? I mean, can you be worse
maybe it's like covering.
Turner?
Maybe it's covering stunts or something like that. There's a reason why he's not in. You know,
that's the
thing. I think
can't do that.
It could be worse.
I think we can all accept that we can all accept that if we get beat by a better side and you play to your best of your abilities, you're fine. But for me, these last two games, the effort hasn't been there. And that's what pisses you off, is when the effort isn't there. Because let's be honest, right? If we were good enough and we're just couch GMs or, we're talking on a podcast here, but we would die to play in that shirt. And if we had the ability they do, because they are the elite level, even if you're a backup, you're on a practice squad, you're in the elite level of players to play this game. So start fucking playing like it, because you're getting paid millions of dollars to do it, or hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it week in, week out. Play like you need the shirt. Like you are the starter.
There's to go off on your point, Scotty, is there's players that are on this team that give it their all every single play and do the right thing every single play. But look, it takes one player to fuck everything up.
It's the ultimate team sport.
Yeah.
Everything has to work exactly right. Otherwise, it can all break down. And frankly, I would have been one of those players, but I hurt my finger when I was in junior high school. And that kind of derailed my career.
Andy, it's a lot more involved than just block the guy right in front of you. No, it's a little bit.
I have audio somewhere of Michael Irvin screaming, "This is a fat man's dance. Stand in front of your man for 3 seconds. Dance like a fat man for 3 seconds. That's your whole job." And he's
It
kind of
says Andy's about 120 pounds piss wet through, but yeah. He's a good bloke. I'm sure he could fight his way round there. I'll give him a fair whip, but honestly, yeah, he's not Andy Lockhart, is he? Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
What is your podcast? I was on YouTube today. I was listening to your show, you and Scouse. What the hell do you call it? I can't remember the name of it.
1 Point Safety Show.
1 Point Safety Show.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what. This is going to, if I insult you, I'm sorry. But God damn it, it was funnier than shit to me. Just listening to you two yelling about the goddamn referees. Hey, you know what it is, yeah? I mean, they're just going back and forth with these heavy accents, man. And I get a kick out of it. And I thought it was fun, man. I know a lot of UK guys that listen to our show would enjoy that. My dog likes it. But man, I had a ball listening to it anyway, because for one, it's a different opinion. It's not necessarily, every American's been watching football since they were born. You guys had to kind of pick a team, right?
We did.
So yeah,
you picked the wrong fucking team.
I have never seen a winning
y'all
season.
pick this fucking team? Are you serious?
Hey, good for you. Good, welcome. Yeah. That's what I say. But it's a wholly different perspective coming at you on the show. And 1 Point Safety Show. I'll tell you what, I recommend it. It's fun.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's see. I believe that's true, but well, never mind. Well, neither can a cavern. You can't stop the wind from going through a cave, right? So I ain't saying
exactly
about that.
Oh dear.
Right. So anyway, you guys might as well find something to talk about while I'm looking for this insult here. Right. I couldn't block a foot, right? So anyway, all right. So offensively, like Templar said, and I agree, we have to have one of those perfect games. We have to have one of those games like we had against the Eagles, where we run the ball, we keep the ball, and we convert third downs like we've never converted third downs before.
This goes to any team that we're going up against. We have to be perfect. We don't have there's no room for error with this team. This team isn't good enough to get itself out from going from 1st and 10 and getting a holding call in 1st and 15 or 1st and 20 or something like that. You can't. This team is not good enough to make that up.
Right.
It's not, and it has everything to do with the offensive line and the quarterback position. They're just not good enough. Defenses will salivate if there's a false start on a first down. It's pretty much over if you get a penalty on first down.
A delicious Bordeaux today.
Yeah, it's a strange one, Jesse. I mean, I also think we have to do. We have to be 100% better in the red zone. It's been woeful for weeks. We just cannot do anything in the red zone at the moment. As you've said on,
we would have scored in a fucking red zone. Some goddamn refs didn't fuck everything fucking up, motherfucking shits.
True, but
no, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
you were right last week by saying that Taylor has to throw on time. John's been on it for weeks saying Taylor has to throw on time
for 2 years.
And
throw it on time.
If we look back at the plays, you can see that Dotson's wide open, McLaurin's wide open, and you just think, I'm not saying it's not competence. It's, as you said, and I watched it back again, John. Daniel Jones was exactly right. 2 seconds, woof, ball's gone. 2 seconds, ball's gone. Taylor's fucking bouncing about. I'll pat it a bit.
He's afraid to make a mistake. We talked about this last week.
It's twofold. He's afraid to make a mistake, but he also wants to make the big giant play.
Of course.
And I also think partially is the problem is that when he's bouncing around back there is because he's trying to fucking see. He can't really climb the pocket because Norwell and fucking dipshit over there, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, are getting shoved back into his pockets. Yeah. So, when you see the big, tall, standard quarterback, Tom Brady, right? The guy who stands in the pocket.
Carson Wentz is the perfect example of what you would want a quarterback
But you need that pocket. He needs that ability to move. It doesn't have to be perfect, but to be able to maneuver up into it, to step up into it, makes a huge difference. And Heineke, I don't think there's times where it looks like he can. And I'm thinking, because how I watch Taylor Heineke throw it, fuck, throw it. That's how I watch Taylor Heineke. I'm wondering sometimes if he doesn't step into it because he just can't fucking see. He doesn't have any sight lanes. Norwell, and if either one of them fall down, let's face it, if Norwell's fat ass falls down, his fucking belly sticks up just as high as his shoulders. So it's still hard to see around. Right? How the fuck did you pick this team? Way to go, Andy. Good job.
I think when we watched Norwell coming out after the Jacksonville game, and we actually saw him in real life, I was like, "Yeah, this
He's a
dude's
fucking
massive.
monster. Yeah,
he's a big
fucking-
boy. Like
Getting
they
up in
are
here,
some serious boys. Like
they're fucking massive.
you look at them and you think on the field, nah, they're not that big, and then you're like, oh shit, yeah, they are really, really big.
You're
Get up
standing-
close
you're
to
standing-
NFL
you're
players. They're
staring-
huge.
You're standing in the first row, like standing up in your seats, walking players warm up, and they walk up to you, and they're just as tall as you are when you're standing 5 feet up. Yeah. Like,
You know who else?
shit.
I'll tell you what, even like defensive backs, they're big as shit.
Yeah.
But you go to a hockey game, you don't realize how big those guys are. Holy
Yeah.
fuck. And on skates, they're all like 7 feet skating around there at 1,000 miles an hour with blades on their feet. But yeah, it's, oh well. We're moving on to something else now. Go ahead. Scott, where are we going?
So I think we go into X Factors, possibly.
Are we doing X Factors? Yeah, I guess so. Let me look at the clock there.
X Factors.
X Factors.
X Factors.
I don't feel like singing today, so I will give you a spoken rendition. X Factors. Thank
Brought
you.
you in association with Durex.
In association with Durex. That's right.
Other protection is available.
See over here they say by the good people at Durex, and I always wonder how do they know there's fucking good people over there at Durex? How do I know that? I don't know any of those people. All right, so Jesse, who's your offensive X factor of the week?
Yeah, it's got to be the offensive line. This defense is a monster. They're going to come after Taylor Heineke. There's a book, Get After Taylor. He's not going to be able to do shit.
It's a Dr. Seuss book.
Just try to fucking hold on as best as you can. That's pretty much it. If they want a chance, I think they're gonna have to come up with some plays in the passing game to have a chance to win this game. Because they're going to run the ball. Let's face it, they're going to run the ball. I just don't think, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough sledding running the ball.
Especially in San Francisco. There's no snow.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, who's your first offensive X factor of the day?
So my first offensive X factor is going to be Taylor Heineke. He has to play his perfect game to get us a win here. It has to be perfect. It really does. Perfect game, yeah. Perfect game.
See, I'm going to play this back to my wife. She's going to love it because you sound like Paul Hollywood. Oh, it's perfect.
Oh, look at that. It's not got a soggy bottom. Oof. This
All right.
looks amazing. Oof.
Oof.
Anyway.
All right.
Taylor
Heineke, is he going to have a soggy bottom? Will he be stodgy?
I think he's probably going to end up with turf in his face, and we'll see Carson Wentz by halftime. But hey,
I'd be right.
So his showstopper is going to be to create a cake that looks like a helmet with freaking grass in it.
I think so. That'll be a showstopper. And Mary
right.
Bear in the tiny little hands can have a look at it. Anyway, moving on.
I've always said, women with the tiny little hands, they make us all happy, don't they? They make us all look like freaking King Kong. Anyway. That's something for Keith to talk about with the kids during the holidays. Anyway, my offensive X factor is Brian Robinson, and right along hands with that is Turner, Scott Turner. Fucking feed that man, and feed him again. All right, wear down that defense. Don't be afraid of it. All right, because if you are, they will kill you. And if you try to drop Heineke back, if we have 60 offensive plays, I want fucking 40 run plays, 35 at the minimum. I don't want to see Heineke dropping back 40 unless we're down 40. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Our best bet to neutralize what that defensive line does, which is come around the outside at blinding speed or stunt into the inside and just wreck everything you've got going on, is to get behind those big fat whales that we have that are useless guards, pass protecting, and just let them push forward. Let Schweitzer, who can block a goddamn dump truck, snap the ball and move forward. That's what I say.
He can block as a guard. He can't block as a fucking center. That's the tough thing.
Tell you what, man. Last week, I mean, the Giants, their defense is a lot different than the 49ers defense, but 7.5 yards a carry cannot be ignored. Even if the 49ers are good enough to drop that down to 4.5, 5, go. Make them stop it. Force them to stop it. And if they can't stop it, don't stop doing it. That's my offensive X factor. Brian Robinson in the running game. Okay.
I've got one more. I think I think we have to look at Terry as well. I think Terry's been very close. He's over the 1,000-yard mark now, but we need to see a better. We need to see touchdowns out of Terry. He's got 3 on the year, which is not enough.
Not his fault. I think
not his fault. It's not his fault.
I saw a statistic today, and I can't remember what the heck it was, but Brian Robinson ranks near the bottom of the NFL. I mean, like when I say bottom of the NFL in rushers, that gets you down to like 230 guys in goal line area carries. All right, we do not hand the ball off. We run the ball like a motherfucker between the goddamn 20s, and then once we get down inside the 5-yard line, we forget all about it. And that Brian Robinson for me, that's my X factor. Jesse, you got any other offensive X factors while your dogs are barking and pissing you off? Look at his face. He is so angry at these little dogs.
No, I don't.
All right, I got one more, and it's the tight ends. This whole room is a disappointment. I sound like the Jewish father. You're a disappointment to us. Let me tell you, we expected so much better out of you. I'm talking to you, Logan Thomas. This dropping of passes, these lazy routes, these terrible blocks, these holding penalties, they've got to stop. And, seriously, the tight ends as a whole. What's that?
I said a phantom holding penalty.
Right. Well, yeah, but the fact of the matter is he's gotten flagged more than once. And the tight ends as a whole, either they're underutilized or they're just, and I blame Heineke for a lot of that because he overthrows.
Yeah, he always overthrows Logan Thomas for some reason. He's like the tallest guy on the team. It's baffling.
And I think that might be it. Heineke needs glasses because he thinks the tallest guy on the team is 17 feet tall.
Who's that? Remember what's that movie? Shit, Rick Vaughn.
Rick Vaughn.
Yeah, it was that baseball movie, the Indians.
Yeah. Okay.
The wild Major thing. League. Yeah, Major League. He was like, he threw so hard, but he couldn't hit the blind side of a barn. And then they got him glasses, big old thick glasses. Yeah. Maybe they should do that with Heineke.
I'm telling you, I'm definitely interested in this electrified anal bead this that they did in professional chess. I'm telling you, put a couple of beads up his ass, and when it's time to throw, he ain't gonna not notice that, right? Throw it.
Yeah. Do you think it's down to scheme though? Because John Bates has dropped off the cliff face.
These guys are running open, man. These guys are running open. He's not hitting them on time. Heineke's problem this year has been mostly timing, and then he's been overthrowing. I don't think it has anything to do with the passing scheme whatsoever.
The tight ends I'm not even looking at from the passing standpoint because the opportunities that they had are limited and they have not been good passes for the most part. I'm looking at it from a blocking standpoint, which is what we've needed them more for anything this year. With the weakness of the offensive line, they have had to provide that shoring up, and it's not been good. They have not been good at blocking. Bates, for all he can do in the passing game, which ain't much, but at least he seems a bit sure-handed. I'm surprised at how badly he blocks sometimes. Yeah, it's shocking how badly he blocks sometimes. So,
and at one stage, he was the best blocker in the NFL.
He was. I think he's still up there. He's had a couple bad games.
Well, I think part and parcel is it stems from the middle on out. We lost our center, all right, which I know, I like his dad. He listens to the show. How you doing? But 2 major leg injuries in 2 straight seasons. You either have to go get a serious backup, right? Somebody who's a starter, or you can't keep playing this game with Larson. And you can't keep playing this game with fucking whoever. Yeah,
because Larson's gotten hurt 2 years in a row too. Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's
right. You need, center's a need, and it's unfortunate for I can't remember his name. This delicious Bordeaux. Chase Roulier. Thank you very much. We do lead the league in chases. I forgot about that, but from the inside on out. So the tight ends, I think, have had to stay in a lot more to try to shore up what has been a really.
Yeah, they have done.
I think it took everybody surprised.
Max protect, and
they're bad at it.
It still doesn't help.
Right, they're bad at it, and I think that our tight end going forward, because I think Thomas has probably 1 more year left.
Yeah, he's got 1 more year left.
Right, but I don't know I got to look at like dead cap situations as to how we can maybe move on.
So Rodgers, he's an $8 million hit this year, and next year I think it's just over 3.
So there's no reason to let him go. Why would you let him go though?
No, I wouldn't. At that kind of
wouldn't,
cost, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but I asked this question again the other day, and it was a case of: do you think he's become more comfortable because he's got his contract, or do you think it's because
No,
he's
he
not
had to
100%
he had to work himself back, and remember he had one really good game, and he still had been a little bit nicked up, but it took him a while to get like it does almost every player not named Adrian Peterson after those big
the Kryptonian.
Those ACL injuries. It takes time, it really does. And you've seen the flashes of Logan Thomas after he started to get over it. I want Logan Thomas back because I still think he has a lot to offer this team.
At that cost, yes, absolutely. And I do think he has a lot to offer.
Maybe not as an $8 to $10 million freaking tight end. No, I probably wouldn't want him back for that price.
Well, the fact of the matter is he's been hurt. They've been serious injuries, so I'm not holding that against him. And when he's been in this year, Heineke has treated him like, hey, that must be the Jolly Green Giant down there. We throw it fucking 90 feet in the air. But it's the blocking. And Thomas, I'm not holding it against because he's not a blocking tight end. He is your pass catching tight end, right? So, but it's the other guys. So that's where we're losing.
Base needs to be a little bit better, and then you got your rookies,
right?
And that's going to take some time. I think next year it might be a little bit better.
The failure of the offensive line has really hurt that whole room. But I do, just to finish up on my point about the tight ends, I think Amari Rodgers is going to step forward. I like that kid, man. I like that kid.
I think the future is bright with our tight end room. I think the future is bright. It's just going to take some time to get there.
So next year, Logan Thomas is an $8.75 million cap hit.
Yeah, you can't cut him at that. And I don't know that I want to extend him and try to, So I don't know what the cap is expected to go up this year, but I know it didn't go up as much as they thought it was after COVID. And they said,
this year is going to be pretty good though.
Right.
Yeah, so, it's going to be enormous. I think because especially with them selling the rights to YouTube as well, they're going to be going to get more money off that.
Defensive X Factors.
Defensive X Factors. Jesse moving the show along. Very good, sir. Very good. Very good.
I think the safeties have to have big games. No matter if it's Curl. Hopefully Curl's playing. We need to keep our fingers crossed on Curl playing. If not, Reeves has got to step up and shout out. We'll talk about the Pro Bowl here after we do our X Factors. But Derek Force, Jeremy Reeves, the combination with McCain. These got to have big game. They got to have run support for Christian McCaffrey and got to account for Mr. George Kittle as well. So
you said his name. God bless America.
The safety position itself. If it's Curl, he's got to be the X factor, or whoever replaces Curl in the lineup is my X factor.
Scotty, who's your defensive
X factor?
My defensive X factor. Whoever, if it's Benjamin St. Juste, great, or whoever is in to replace St. Juste as a corner. If it'll probably be Danny Johnson again. But from what I've seen this week, he's saying he's fit to go and he's raring to go. And I think he's made the trip as well. So that's my defensive X factor as well.
Trying to take Brandon Ayuk down.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good one. All right, for me, my defensive X factor, I'm gonna do the Keith thing and call the whole defensive line. Even though, Jesse, you did it for the whole offensive line. The whole defensive line. Get in there and teach that rookie what it's like to be a rookie in the NFL. Go in there and make his mother afraid for his safety. That's what I want. I want his mother calling up Roger Goodell and saying, would you please do something about those men in the red shirts? They're going to hurt my grandson. Oh, excuse me. His grandmother called him up.
On that point, John,
yes.
I do not want to see Trent Williams bullying our defensive line. I want them to bully Trent Williams.
As a matter of fact, what I would like to see is one of those nice, super slow motions of frickin' Chase Young jamming his hand right into Trent Williams' chest. See you, Andy. Happy Christmas. Good for you. I want to see him jam his hand into Trent Williams, and then when Williams falls down, I want one of those nice super slow motions of the ass ripple, where the ass just ripples out from the impact on the ground as Chase Young runs over him and crushes that rookie in the head. That's what I want to see. Well, maybe not in the head. I don't want to.
Cheers, Burrows. Thanks for everything this year, buddy. And I'll catch up with you soon.
Andy,
Feliz
Merry Christmas,
Navidad.
sir. Merry Christmas. Good for you. Oh, he's probably working anyway because he's got to deliver the beer.
No, he's not working. He's off now. He's done. He's
There you
done
go.
for the year. Shut
London,
down.
you better have bought. You have better bought your beer already. Otherwise, Super Andy is not coming to your rescue. All right. Any other defensive X factors? Jesse, you got any more?
No, like I said, I really want this defensive line to punish Trent Williams. Not because I don't like Trent Williams.
He's the key.
He's the key to it. He is the key to that offensive line. You take care of Trent, you can take care of Brock Purdy.
That's right.
There.
That's right. And I'll tell you what, I will shout out. We've said this several times this year. Don't add players. Well, I added a player this week. All right.
You did.
I did. I added Jeremy Reeves for congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Because just watching that video of Ron telling him that he made the Pro Bowl, it was, man, that warmed my heart. That was
Absolutely.
a wonderful moment. And I loved it because aside from the fact that, dude, ever since that they put him in with Curl, right, at the end of 2020, and those two played so well, I was like, damn, we got a duo there. There's a nice guy. They play really well. But when you read about all the stuff and you hear about all the stuff that Ron was saying earlier in the year about why he likes Jeremy Reeves and why he prepares better than anybody. He loves the way the guy approaches the game. And the fact that he got voted as the Pro Bowl starter in special teams, there's only one of those. And I just think that's awesome. I think that's absolutely awesome. So yay for him.
You know, watching that video alone, I know a lot of people will not agree with me on this. Just it reaffirms my belief that Ron Rivera is the right coach for the right time for this.
He's a decent man for sure.
He gets the most out of these. Players love him, and that's where it starts right there. And him being the overall kind of CEO of the football operations, I am perfectly okay if this continues for at least a couple more years.
Reeves looked like he was talking to his father.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and when he goes, it says, he
and
said, Coach, you know this, and you know this, but I'll run through a wall for you. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And for all the crap that's talked about Ron Rivera, some of it I can understand, but for those
that's the football
calling
stuff.
for him to be fired, I think that's just ridiculous. I think he's a good coach. He's well respected around this league, and he is the true culture changer of this franchise itself.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think that the criticisms of the X's and O's and some of the football decisions are warranted as a football fan or analyst, which we're not. I think those are warranted, but those are standard things for football.
Yeah, that every coach in the entire league, doesn't matter if you're Andy Reid or Bill Belichick, they're scrutinized.
They're scrutinized. What I would like to see is, should we move on from Ron, which I don't think we're going to do this offseason regardless, but a new owner, that's usually what will happen. But kick him upstairs, keep him with the organization, because you're 100% right. He is so good for the organization as a man and as the integrity that he exudes. You can just feel it. Now, I might be totally wrong. He might have a computer full of butt plug porn. I don't know, but
he might be waiting for the patent for that butt plug.
But, everything about what he's done for the team has been positive. We just need that quarterback to step up, and we need that. But those are football things.
I think a lot of minds will change if there's, a half decent, half competent quarterback in place. Like I said, going off the numbers, looking at, players' ratings from the year prior that he brought in, you can't really fault Ron for bringing in a Turner and a Norwell, cutting that.
Right. Turner especially. He played well with the Steelers.
Yeah, and Norwell played good with the Jaguars and then the Panthers after that. I mean, you go look at the numbers. They're good. They
were Pro Bowl. They were Pro Bowl players.
Yeah. So
here's the question
is, Norwell was an all-pro.
Right.
All-pro.
Right. But the question is, can they block for Zach Wilson? Because that's our quarterback next year.
Oh God!
Oh no, it's not.
I would definitely have to question. And right. just going back on Ron, just for another minute. I think they talent evaluate pretty damn well. They brought in some pretty decent players, especially young players.
They have. They've hit on more than they've missed. For sure. Right. I mean, we're sitting here talking about Jeremy Reeves, Cameron Curl. We're talking about I want a big game out of Derek Forrest, who I think is a big key to be able to handle George.
And even Jamin Davis, like
he's a first round pick.
We say all the time. Last year, we told everybody, wait a year for Jamin Davis to play dividends. Guess what? It's happening.
That's right. Everybody should listen to us.
Do you know what I took from that video, gents? What I took from that video was two things, really. It was the respect that was there that you saw for Ron Rivera. You got John Allen, and he's, oh, my bad, I'm really sorry I didn't knock on the door. You got Terry McLaurin walking in. He is a superstar. He is the face of our franchise. Yeah. And there he is.
And did you see how happy he was?
Unbelievable. Tress Way, he's been here the longest. He's the longest serving player on the team. And the respect there is obviously earned and deserved both ways. And you can see that. And I think in some ways it was...
Why wouldn't you want someone like that running your
exactly
right? Maybe not calling my plays or throwing my red flags or that kind of shit because
time management or whatever else,
right? But kick him upstairs, let the players be his friend. Yeah, man, we love Ron Rivera. All right, so we got one more thing here, so I'm going to spring this guy on you guys. So it's Christmas time. Commanders, I don't have a song prepared, but I'll sing anyway because fuck it, I don't care. All right, so if you could ask Santa Claus for one thing for the Commanders this Christmas, what would it be? Scott, we'll go with you. And besides, Father Christmas is what you guys call him. So what would Father Christmas bring? By the way, I saw a very cool fucking article today about this church in Ireland where St. Nicholas is buried, which was very cool. So, by the way, go ahead. So what are you bringing him?
I would like Father Christmas to bring me a present of a postseason ticket. I want us to get into
for the you. I thought for the team. Well, way to be selfish.
Oh, Scott. No, I want to see the playoffs.
Fucking shit. You're getting a bag of coal.
I misinterpreted the question, obviously. For the team, just health. Just stay healthy and win games.
Stay healthy and win games. All right, so he went from being completely selfish to being totally cliche.
Dude, I would take a major injury if freaking we made it into the playoffs. I mean, come on, maybe not.
Like Jalen Hurts, I wouldn't say that. I didn't say that. No,
I think I want to win this Sunday. I'll take that.
All right, I think
I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not greedy.
Well, that would be good, Jesse, if we were playing on Sunday, but
Or Saturday, Christmas Eve. Early Christmas present.
I'm only joking, man. Dude.
All right, so for me, I think, damn, he is annoying, isn't he?
A little bit.
My Christmas gift for the Commanders would definitely be, I don't know that a playoff berth is the. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. A playoff berth with this team, I think, is the same thing that it was a couple of years ago when Ron said that it was fool's gold, right? And I think that that's the same thing that we are. I don't think that we have, I don't know, man, because I don't know that we've improved.
This team's different. I do. I absolutely do.
This was 100%. A schedule that we should have been rolling through. And I mean, granted, we rolled through the part of it that we should have, but we're still a 19-point per game offense. So I think that's what I want for Christmas for this team. I want Scott Turner to pull his head right out of his ass and realize that he can run the football and mix it up with the pass, and he doesn't have to do either or. You can do it all at the same time, buddy, all in the same drive if you want. That's what I want. I want Scott Turner to be a little bit better with his situational play calling. And look, Jesse's like, wait till the new year. I'm going to get your ass.
Yeah, no, I definitely disagree with you that this team hasn't made strides since 2020. I definitely think they have. Yeah. They've beaten actual quarterbacks. They've played better. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
the offensive line is not what we expect.
So there you go. All right. So you look at it.
Situation is. I mean, we're playing an XFL quarterback. I mean,
but we
I don't care if you're Andy Reid. I don't care if you're Andy Reid. If you have Taylor Heineke, you're not going to win more than 8-9 games.
Not my point. All right. The point being is that when we made that playoff run 2 years ago, same situation. Okay. Mm-hmm. Same situation. In this case, I do think that we are a little bit better in that we are, we're in a very good division. we're holding our own to the point where we've got a winning record, but we have a winning record by 1 game at this point. I don't see where this was supposed to be a season after last season where we really kind of have this. We're almost at the same juncture on a really tough schedule. And this season was supposed to be a cakewalk schedule comparatively. And we're just not any different.
But it's not,
and that's
really,
just where I am.
Because teams that were supposed to be like really bad haven't really panned that. Teams are better than. That Jaguars game. That Jaguars game's looking a hell of a lot different.
It is. But the fact of the matter is that we haven't stepped up with them. All right. And you can use our entire division in that regard. All right. Everybody in the division is going to the playoffs at this moment. All right.
Do you know what, John? I think I want to question you. I think, valid point, but I think they also tried it. I think they thought this was the
They did. They went for Wentz.
Tried it with Wentz.
Right.
They tried it and they thought we've got to do something.
Right, but you see, you add one to that column. Okay, we went and got our quarterback, but then you take away from that column. But we're going to take away these 2 guards and replace them. And we just discussed a couple of minutes ago how they probably could have seen that differently.
I think there was no way we were going to keep.
Oh yeah, no. But they could have maybe gone after some better replacements. Is what I'm saying. They weren't going to.
Yeah, like I was saying just a little while ago, they figured these were pretty good replacements because off of last year. Sometimes players just don't work out.
Right.
Sometimes they go a little bit downhill faster than expected.
Roulier getting hurt was bad, and the fact that everything kind of tumbled from
everything has context to it, and that's how I look at it. I'm looking at the whole context of what I truly believe this team is getting to the point where get a quarterback, get a couple offensive linemen, and this team can compete for a fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah,
because it has the talent now. I truly believe that Ron has built and developed this team in a way that you got to get these couple pieces. Yes, they're big pieces. And listen, with the Carson Wentz thing, it was pretty much no choice, man. There was no apples in the bottom of the freaking pail. Wow. It's all he had to choose from.
Well, hello there, Scott. That kind of covered you. I just saw this over in the comments. All right. I don't remember ordering a pizza. That's right. That was my old John Madden cartoon. I did a cartoon a long time ago when Brett Favre retired and then unretired and retired and then retired and then retired. And I had this running joke that John Madden and him were sleeping together. And I did this cartoon about Brett Favre coming to the door and catching John Madden with Tom Brady in the house. So nice to see the Templar is one of my old friends.
Oh no, I saw one more thing I wanted to point out before we leave.
Yeah.
Right here.
No.
Let me ask this question. Do we see Wentz before the end of the season?
Yes, I think we do. Unless they win this. If they win this game, then no, because you got to keep rolling the hot hand.
Yeah, I agree. If we lose this game, Wentz is the starter against Cleveland.
Yeah,
right.
Now, I actually think we might see him, but I had this discussion again because the offensive line is so bad. Yeah, you're just going to get everyone else.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to put Wentz into this game, particular
or Howell,
game,
for that matter. Either of them.
I don't know. I think Howell has better escapability than any of these quarterbacks. To be honest with you, Howell has proven he wants to run. He unlike Heineke does not want to run. He can, but he does not want to.
Well, I'm watching Mark Tyler this week. I love the little video clips he puts up. I know he's a fire plug with a lot of guys. A lot of people argue with him, but I like him. I think he's a good guy, and I think I like what he shows us. And he put up several instances during the course of the game last week where there were RPO options that he missed. That he handed off.
He handed off when he was. Yeah, I saw that freaking. I mean, watching the game live. I'm like, why did he fucking hand that ball off? Why did?
I think that's we all know this. Heineke, we've seen his ceiling, and that's what it is. He is what he is, and that's all he's going to be. But when it comes to the course of Wentz, what my hope is that Ron, you don't owe these guys anything. I mean, you owe the team, but you don't owe these quarterbacks anything. It's not like you gave Heineke life, all right? And regardless of what happens on Saturday, what happens tomorrow, or what happens for the rest of the season, unless he has some sort of injury that ruins his career,
he's going to have a job somewhere.
Right. He's got an NFL career now.
Yeah.
And that, so if he's bad tomorrow, and I mean, we've seen it. We know how bad Heineke can be. If he's throwing over guys' heads that are wide open, if he's missing obvious plays, I don't mind a quick leash. All right. I agree with you, Scott, and I agree with you, Jesse, that with the offensive line the way it is, I don't think that Wentz is going to do much better because the pressure's coming right up the middle, and I don't care what quarterback that you can talk about anywhere in the history of the NFL, coming up the middle into their lap is the worst thing you can do. They hate
the only way I see Wentz coming in and being successful and somewhere where an area where I think Wentz can be better is with the quick passing game. I'm talking
like what Jones did last week.
Yeah, exactly. Two step out.
Right.
And I think Wentz could be better in that situation than Heineke. That's the only way I see it.
It all depends on the defense too. If they're pressing, both of them have the opportunity to throw an interception there. That's when the tight ends have to come into play, right? Quick across the middle. But now we're getting into all kinds of X's and O's and shit like that.
Yeah,
so now I'm curious.
That ain't our thing.
Right. But, I had a point, but I fucking can't remember it. Thanks to this delicious Bordeaux. So, Scotty, where are you going with us? Yeah, that's right. I just dropped it in your lap. The whole show's on you now, buddy.
Okay, so we're going to go predictions?
We are going to go predictions. There you go. God damn, everybody does a better job at this than me, so. I think that, let me get this off the screen there.
Jesse, what are you going?
Oh, I'm going to go first. Okay. I'm like I've been predicting all shows. It's going to be a low scoring game, and I'm going to predict. Let's see, what's most obscure? Okay, obscure score. I'm going to go 12-11.
12-11. There we go on an RBI single.
The San Francisco 49ers.
There you go. RBI single. Well, it's not going to be Aaron Judge because the Giants screwed up.
How would they get to 11? How would they get to 11? They'd have to get a safety in there somewhere.
Safety and 3 field goals. Right. And the safety would come because Mr. Irrelevant runs out of the back of the end zone at the end of the game.
Yeah. Or Tressway punts the ball on the 1 yard line and somehow Chase breaks through for a sack and a safety.
No, we're not saying that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, we're not saying that. We're just the same way. We're not going to say George's name in this goddamn show. I'm gonna freaking scrub it out wherever anybody said it. All right, Scott, what's your prediction for the show? I mean, excuse me, for the game. For the show is slop and mess.
I'm going to go with a San Francisco 49ers win, and I'm taking that win at 24-17.
Yeah, I don't see them scoring that many points. Either team scoring that points.
All right. Kill hit a 61-yard TD last week.
Yes.
He was unstoppable. Sorry.
He said his name.
I just don't think we've got the weapons to hold them at all. I really
You know what? I'm looking at you, Derek Forrest, and I'm looking
defensively,
at you
I do.
admiration. Because Derek F can stop George. I'm counting on it. Because you know what? It's Christmas. We don't have a chance. So I'm going to say something completely off the wall, and it's going to be 37-36 Commanders on the foot of Joey Sly hitting his 4th field goal of the game. And look at Jesse's like, what the kid? There's no such thing as Santa Claus. Why don't you grow up? Look at his face.
This over under it does not go over 40 points.
40 points. I disagree. The over under should be 73, and that's what I'm sticking with.
I think the lines.
I think it's 39.5.
Is the line 6 at the moment? I think it's 6. And I think
6.5. I think. And the over under is 39.5.
If I was a betting man, I'd lay the points on that.
Well, we will discuss all of that tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning on Christmas Eve, a special Christmas Eve edition.
Special Christmas Eve edition of the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast. It is all NFL betting show.
That's right. We're going to talk about all the bets we made last week. We're going to talk about the upcoming games on Saturday, including this one and many others.
And it's a 4 o'clock game tomorrow there, fellas. Remember that. Right.
So, and also from what I've been told, Scott is going to read A Christmas Carol for us.
All right. Can't wait.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure who. I don't know who told him, Scott, but he told him.
I'll come prepared.
All the parts. There you go. All right, then. Until tomorrow morning, fellas. This has been a lot of fun. I guess I got to go over here and do this. Christmas. Hold on a second.
Happy
Let me try to
Christmas,
be
everybody.
professional. Merry Christmas.
Thanks
to
for everybody
everyone.
in the chat for having a conversation with us. It's fun getting our listeners involved. You can check us out on Twitter. All of our @ are on the screen. You can also check us out on YouTube. And we are either at the Bang Radio Hour or the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast. It is on both of those pages. And yeah, check us out on any of the podcast platforms. All the big ones, we're on there.
Right. That's right. And drop us a bunch of ratings. Tell us how awesome we are, even though we're not, we're just lie for us. That's fine with us.
Yeah.
And I will say this, Duke, since Templar is here, and I know that he's one of my old guys from the Bang, though. If you haven't watched the Bang cartoons from the old days and you remember the NFL over the last 20 years, you might enjoy it. It's on YouTube. But for all of you guys that are out there, Tom may be on this show to make picks with us on Saturday. Not this Saturday, but probably maybe coming soon. We'll see.
And also check out or hit the link at the betus.com. You get special pricing for first-time users. And we'll see y'all tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. And
It's
Scott's going to dance. That's right. That's right. I believe tomorrow Scott's going to be topless for the show. So,
Ooh, can't wait.
Really don't want to see that, mate. It's like a